glad to have you all here, especially on this particular day, September 11th, which quite honestly, when we planned to do the 11th of each month, it hadn't quite occurred to me that the 11th included September 11th. And then I thought, well, of course this day, of course this is what we're doing. It also happens to be my son's 16th birthday today. So I'm having myself a pretty wonderful morning full of balloons and special breakfast.
I love that. Congratulations, Rosemerry. It's always such a special day for mothers when it's their children's birthdays.
It's true. It's true.
It is 7:30. Should we start because all these beautiful people are here on time? I'll keep an eye on in case anybody else joins us late.
All righty.
So welcome everyone. It is so lovely to see all of you. I'm so happy to be having our secret agent mission. Rosemerry, I'm going to turn it over to you and I'll keep an eye on the waiting room.
All right. Well, first of all, how many of you have been secret agents before? Just go ahead and raise your hand. And is there anybody, this is your very first secret agent mission? Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Sherry and I have been doing this for a couple of years, doing these kind of pop-up secret agent missions in which we always start with a poem and then Sherry will give a secret agent prompt for something, some fun and surreptitious way that you can go out and spread kindness in the world. And then about, I think it was the second time that we did a group of missions, we ended up adding the double agent mission, which was a way that you could be a secret agent of kindness, not only out in the world, but for yourself too. So we'll have today a poem, a secret agent mission, and a double agent mission. Always if you choose to accept your mission. You are never, of course, required to do anything. And you can alter it in all kinds of ways. We love all of the different creative parts of what happens, how you know, when people share, that's, I think, one of the best parts of this is on our Facebook group, when everybody shares about what they've done. It does inspire us to come up with other ways that we could go out into the world. We're like, oh, wow, we could do that. It's just really exciting. Also, I find that it's some of the very best news. I love the news of what happens in the Secret Agents group. Sherry, you want to add anything to that?
Oh, I am just so happy. I was just thinking, like, I'm so glad that you all took the time to come live because, of course, it's really fun when we post it in the Facebook group and people participate. But I'm just so happy just to be seeing your faces and Rosemerry and I, we just have a small amount of time this morning. But after we do the poem and the prompt, we're going to open it up just to have a chance to hear from anybody that wants to share, because it's just so important right now to be in community. And so I just really, really wanted to say thank you. It means so much, I know, to both of us to spend this time with you.
Thanks, Spy Master. So we'll start this morning with a poem, and it's one that I wrote, I don't know, almost a year ago maybe, but it sure felt relevant for what's going on right now. So this is watching my friend pretend her heart isn't breaking. On Earth, just a teaspoon of neutron star would weigh 6 billion tons. 6 billion tons is the equivalent weight of every animal on Earth, including the insects, times 3. 6 billion tons sounds impossible until I consider how it is to swallow grief. Just a teaspoon and one may as well have consumed a neutron star. How dense it is. How it carries in it the memory of collapse. How difficult it is to move then. How impossible to believe anything could ever lift that weight. There are many reasons to treat each other with great tenderness. One is the sheer miracle that we're here together on a planet surrounded by dying stars. And another is none of us can see what anyone else has swallowed.
Rosemerry, I say this to you every time, but I know that it's like, it is such a gift for us to get to hear you read your poems. And I just thank you so much. This one particularly, it's so beautiful. And I just want to sit for a moment with it. Just want to sit for a moment. So, secret agents, many people around us are feeling as if they've swallowed that neutron star that Rosemerry just wrote about. People are weighed down with grief, loss, loneliness, fear. It's a hard time right now. And that's why we need you so much. And we're so grateful for all of you. Today's mission is all about that great tenderness that Rosemerry writes so beautifully about. Agents, we want you to think about someone in your life whom you know is feeling weighed down right now. Is there someone who's grieving a death, someone who maybe lost a job, or who's separated from loved ones? Maybe you know a teenager or a young child who's lonely or scared about what's happening right now. I'm just going to pause for a moment so you can just kind of think about, is there someone in your life who's weighed down? And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to surprise that person with a teaspoon of love that is filled with light and compassion. I feel as if what we're always doing is offering, we're equalizing what Rosemerry was talking about the weight of that grief with also, the beautiful weight of love. So what we're suggesting today is a simple letter, and we're going to share some sample text with you. But if you have the time, maybe something handwritten, that you could send through the mail, or it can be something that you send by email or text. And we also wanted to say, if you want to send something anonymously, as to keep up with the secret agent piece, to do that. But you can also, of course, send it. Sorry, I'm admitting people as I'm talking to you. That's why I'm distracted. I want to make sure no one misses out. You can send it from yourself. You can send it from life. You could send it from the universe. But I want us to, in the next few minutes before we all have to go, to also open it up to you guys to see, what ideas do you have? How else might we help people who are feeling weighed down? And as this double secret agent mission, I want to offer you, if you are feeling grief, loneliness, if you're feeling like you're in the dark, make your mission to reach out. Reach out to someone you love, reach out to us, reach out in the Facebook group. Don't sit with it alone, but allow yourself to invite others to sit with you. Because I think that's one of the things that we can all do for one another. So I'm going to go ahead and I see that Christina has her hand up. Christina, I'm going to unmute you to see if you wanted to say something. But if anybody wants to share, you can just, wave. Or if you hover over participants down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see it opens up a panel and there's a little button that says raise hand. So you can also do that. But we're a small enough group that we can see everybody too. So Christina, I'm asking you to unmute. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Oh, I had raised my hand before I turned my video on to let you know I was a first timer, never been a secret agent, but I'm excited. And since you unmuted me, I did put a question in. I was curious, could you give me the name of the poem again? I'd like to reread it myself.
Thanks, Christina. The title was While Watching My Friend Pretend Her Heart Isn't Breaking, which I think is just kind of a nod to how a lot of the people who are hurting the most don't look like it. you know, they put on this face that makes it seem like everything's fine. We'd have no idea what they're going through. I have so many people who come to mind like that. And so I'm going to go ahead. We'll have that poem, Christina, in the Facebook group. It'll be with the mission in the Facebook group. It'll be printed there.
I'm not on Facebook, so that's why I wanted to.
And I'm going to send it to you, baby, directly.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thanks.
I'll also make sure that I include it in the follow-up email. So if you are on our email list, of course, we'll make sure that Rosemary's poem is included. So we would, we would love to hear from any of you. If you want to just say hello, this is our chance to just be with you in community. And we were going to originally, which we can still do, we were going to actually write our letters during this time. But then Rosemary and I thought it's so rare for us to get to be with you that we would sort of see how it went. And if people just wanted to say hi, we could also then just post the sample text in the Facebook group, and I'll send it in the email, and we could do that. So we're kind of open.
Heather's raising her hand.
Hi, Heather. I'm asking you to unmute. You should be able to unmute yourself.
Ta-da!
That
a couple things. I think I'd like to just share about what my chest feels about this opportunity. Maybe since March, I think, though it's no secret that there's some darkness that I think hits people actually harder in certain communities that I'm assuming none of us are really in touch with. It's a big assumption to make, but I think you know who I mean, the people in tenement homes, the people who don't have internet, the folks in Navajo communities and Indigenous communities. So having said that, I also think this is a really precious opportunity of a time. So although I'm super lonely, I'm in my darkest days, I just think it's some of that I've borrowed from maybe other people's feelings, but it's a really, really beautiful time. And I'd love to focus more on that. So I think another thing that comes up for me is as we think of sharing kindness or being kindness or sharing love, I think the most powerful way to do that is to see that in someone else. So rather than a deficit thinking of, oh, there are people out there hurting and losing jobs, to really see someone else's strength and light is a gorgeous thing that doesn't happen very much, I don't think. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Rosemary, I'm curious, did you have anything to respond? Because I just sort of felt like you might.
Oh, I think there's something incredibly powerful about seeing another person's beauty and light. I think that's exactly the mission, right? Is to focus on exactly that, to reach into all the beauty that's available to all of us all the time. I think that's more than anything exactly what we're wanting to focus on. And especially, like you say, Heather, I think there are a lot of communities that are really struggling, and in any way that we're able to meet that also, you know, I think those are two really, really strong points about how we could move forward with this mission. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yeah. Hi, Resta.
Hey guys, it's beautiful to have you guys here, and I see some friends on here, and so that's lovely as well. But as I was listening to the poem and then listening to Heather, the line in the poem that says that you don't know what someone else has swallowed, I think is a really, really important piece. You know, and Heather said that's an assumption that I'm making, and I love that too, that acknowledgement, but that it's also really important for us it's also really important for us in this time where people have swallowed so much that we don't, and Heather alluded to this as well, carry their burden, but help them carry it. So to not to not take on more burdened energy, but to go, this is heavy. Might I help you carry it? So it becomes more diffuse and more diluted. And I think by adding in a teaspoon of light and compassion, I mean, it's just such a great way to dilute. And that is what we want to be able to do. And I just love that, because we don't know what someone else has swallowed. And just to look around at, are your strong friends, you know, it's like, check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends too. So let's check on those that we have no clue about, but let's check on our strong friends too, because they too are swallowed things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nicely said, Augusta.
Oh, beautifully said. That was so beautifully said. Thank you.
Thank you guys for both, for doing this.
Thank you. Anne, did you have something? You should be able to unmute yourself. Yeah, there you are.
Okay, I'm a first timer, so I'll welcome myself.
Welcome.
To take a turn from the whole March to present, other things that we could, that just came to my mind is people who are losing everything in fires.
Yes.
What I had a family member lose everything in California a few years ago, and what was important to him were his family's pictures. So I combed through years of digital and hard copy photos and kind of put something together and sent it out. So there's a few, and it's just of course, I said, you have to put up with my family because they're in the pictures. So, but it's just a thought of, you know, people that are either have or on the verge, or, and I know a few people right now that are in that situation. So it's, fires are always very scary. So in addition to everything else that's going on, just throw that on top. So just a thought on that one. And then I have another friend here whose daughter's very sick, but she likes, I just said, what does she like doing? And she likes to do jigsaw puzzles. So I asked my daughter, who's got about 90, I said, give it up. So we have collected a few and dropped them off at the door. So it's, there's stuff. There's flowers, plants, those are always my favorite. But yeah, and then of course, Rosemerry, if you come up with anything fabulous in your wonderful poetry every day, which I love, I would always zip that off to somebody. Just saying.
Thank you, Anne.
And I love that you're bringing in these different ideas too, and especially like the beautiful thing that you just offered about photos. That is just such a great gift. And it can be, I was thinking when you were saying that, even for someone who hasn't lost their photos,
Yes, yeah.
sending a photo with a little tiny memory is what a beautiful gift. And one of my suggestions, if you do know someone who's grieving, I always try to send a loving story if I know the person who has passed away, because I know for myself, when I have, I'm in grief over someone, I love to
Uh-oh.
hear people's
We
stories.
lost her. Oh, there she is.
Oh. Did we freeze?
Well, at least you have, darling.
Oh, all right. Am I back?
You're back. Yeah. Way to unfreeze. Uh-oh, I spoke too soon. Well, while we're waiting for Sherry to come back, which hopefully she will, especially because she's the host, I don't think it'll kick us all off. But does anyone else have some ideas, ways that you might send a teaspoon of light, or ways that you yourself might reach out to someone else? Any other thoughts about that? Yeah, Jean.
I loved your poem. And just sending your poem to somebody might be an act of love.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Jean. We'll make sure that you get it. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, I send poems to people a lot too. That I wrote and that other people write. Anyone else with an idea about how? Yes, go ahead, Naomi.
Rosemary, a friend told me about your website at the beginning of the pandemic, and I go there every morning, and it's just a heart filler, and then to connect with Sherry through you, and it's just interesting how we're connecting in the world now through the Zoom. So I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate this opportunity. We did lose, my son and daughter lost their father in April, and now my daughter-in-law's father is critically ill with cancer and lives on an island. And so I've been emailing him just to let him know that I'm here. Yeah, people in our lives are really struggling. I have a grand dog that I walk every day, and he keeps me grounded, you know. He's a big English pointer, and it takes all my strength, but we went on a wonderful walk yesterday and met lovely people along the way, and just getting out there, wearing your mask and connecting, I think is super important.
It's a great way to take care of ourselves, isn't it? Is just to get out there, and our pets really do help with that also. I've noticed that too. And that connection, like you're saying, I think, Naomi, that this feeling of I think that's part of what we're hoping to do with this mission, is to help people feel increasingly connected to each other and know that, look, here, I'm here. We're here together. We belong here together. Yeah, thank you for that. Welcome back, Sherry.
My internet just completely went out. I'm so glad that you guys all stayed. That was a miracle.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Welcome back. Anyone else want to share anything about how just reaching out, giving someone else a teaspoon of light, or how you could reach out yourself? And I'm not sure how to say, is Amy?
Run together. It's Amy. Yeah. I don't know why it's all run together like that. I just was going to say, and I wanted to echo what some others have said. This is my first time here, but your poems, Rosemerry, have made such a huge difference for me during this pandemic.
This house has been really slow. Yeah, but I'm glad we can finally get around them.
Can you guys hear that?
That was it's fun.
On me. Anyway, I really have, your poems have made a huge difference, and I look forward every morning. I look for the email. I don't know how you send them in the middle of the night, but if you actually hit send in the middle of the night.
That is, I write them in the middle of the night. That's exactly what happens.
Well, good for you. I'm also a night person, but I've been pretty impressed with that. I just wanted to say, so I have a good friend. She's 75 and is super active, has a big extended family, has been, and so this pandemic has been really hard for her. They've been quarantined, they've been social distancing. And then a couple of weeks ago, she slipped in the tub and landed on her face, I guess against a wall, and broke her nose. And so she obviously was in need of some extra love. She'd been down anyway. And I have another friend who has a small bookstore in Franklin, Indiana. It's her own little business. And one of the services she offers is a gift box. And you pay $50 and you describe the person, and my friend Tiffany picks out gifts. And so it was just, it's not something that everybody obviously could do, and you couldn't do it for everyone. But I decided to try to help my friend's bookstore. I've been ordering from her through the pandemic anyway, and send a gift to my friend. And she got it the other day, and she just was blown away. And it just, I really felt like it made a huge difference. And it did probably at least as much for me as it did for her. So that was that was really fun. I've been trying to send cards to people and try to keep in touch with people. But, you know, obviously, I mean, to those who said there are people who are struggling, and I think the comment about taking care of your strong friends and looking in on your strong friends, sometimes I think the people who put on the best front, who look like the strong friends, are not always the strongest friends. And sometimes they're the ones who need help, the ones who can't really show it or ask for it. So I love that comment, and I think that's really true.
Yeah, thanks so much, Amy. Thank you.
Yeah, and Amy, I really love what you did with helping out your friend with the bookstore at the same time as offering some love to your other friend. Like that's like a triple secret agent mission, because I'm sure it also felt. Yeah,
I love the idea of this group. There used to be a group in Richmond, Virginia that I would follow a little bit, but it was very local. It was before the whole Zoom thing, and they did something similar. I love the idea that it's secret agents, and I'm just super excited to be part of this. So, thank you guys for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining in. And please, everybody, do write whatever you do decide to do for your mission. When you share that on the Facebook group, it just sends this gorgeous infusion of energy into the group and into its individual members. I just know how excited I get about thinking about all that amazing stuff that's happening, and how inspired I get to find other ways to spread kindness.
Rosemerry, I'm glad you said that, because I did want to encourage Amy to post that for the people who aren't here. That's a great idea people can do with their own local bookstores too. But also, I just wanted to bring in, we've had, some people have said like, oh, I feel shy about it. It feels like I'm bragging, or it feels like I'm tooting my own horn. But the thing is, just like Rosemerry just said, this is why we're here. Like, we've all chosen to be here to share these kinds of inspirations, and to remember that, just like Heather was saying, like, this is a time that we also want to really like celebrate the light and see each other's light. And so when we share these stories, it feels so good. You know, it feels uplifting. It's the kind of news that we all want to be reading about. So I know that it might sometimes be a little uneasy to say like, oh, I did this thing, but I like to just look at it as it's like, we're all part of the same stuff, and we're all just part of the love and the light, and we're just shining, and it's so important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that I need to leave right at 9. I know that Sherry's going to continue. So when I just disappear, all of a sudden, know that that I'm excited to read on Facebook all about everything that you've done.
Rosemerry, we love you so much. Thank you for everything you are.
Bye, friends. Thanks, secret agents. Thanks, Co-Spy Master.
We'll see you in the Facebook group.
See you in the Facebook group.
So I did just want to offer the chance, if anybody, I'm sorry I was gone, that my internet went out, but if anybody who didn't have a chance to say anything wants to say hi, or just so we can hear your voice, I don't need to hop off right away. Oh,
Sherry,
Tara.
this is Sue.
Oh, hi, Sue. And then Tara, we'll have you talk after Sue. Hi, Sue.
I don't know how to raise my hand, so I do know how to unmute. But anyway, my daughter took her camera back, so you can't even see my face, but I did want to say hello. And I also want to, remind people, always spread love. My daughter died last week, and it was a daughter that I had adopted, and I did get to meet the biological parents. But she had said in her last phone call to them that she loved me and my ex, and she didn't at all like them. And I thought, what a devastating memory they have of her, but it's a fantastic memory for me because she always emphasized, I love you, Mom. Mm. And for that, I am very grateful. But she lived so far away that there's not going to be a funeral. There's not going to be anything. I mean, it's just like I now will never get the phone call. And I just want to let people be reminded that, spread love. That it's the best, it's the most free gift we have, and it's the most long-lasting that you'll ever get.
Sue,
Thanks.
hey, Sue, thank you so much for sharing. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing okay. Because she had lived so far away, like it would be like a 2-day drive if I was ever to get there. But there's just nothing to go to. There's no tombstone, there's no anything. I don't know who's getting her cremated ashes. Somebody else is dealing with all of that stuff.
So I just wanted to invite you, if you wanted to, no pressure, of course, but if you wanted to post a photo of her in our group, just so we can all love on her and you, it would be really beautiful.
I wouldn't know how to do that. Facebook won't take me because they say I'm a security risk.
Oh, honey. Well, thank you for being here, and I'm
Thanks.
sending you so much love right now. I know you're such a beam of light. I love you,
I
Sue.
appreciate that. Thanks.
Tara, did you want to? Can you? Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I mean, this is just something I thought of yesterday. I was cleaning the grass out of my oregano bed and remembered that when I was in Peru, my daughter, I was by ceremony at her wedding, had collected an oregano plant she was trying to root, which did not succeed. And I was thinking, oh, I need to talk to her son, my grandson, and ask him to go get a start for her. In other words, have him do the favor that I can't do because I'm too far away, and contribute to her mother. She's kind of having a difficult time recovering from a recent giving birth.
Wow.
So she's kind of not getting around too much yet. And so just something to cheer her up and give my grandson a task that would make his mother feel loved.
Oh, Tara, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, because what a really creative way to spread the light, right? I love that, because I'm sure it would make him feel really great to do that for her. And now it's coming through you. I love that.
And I actually have another thing too, and I don't know what to do about it, but I have a friend who lives in, I think it's Tennant, Oregon. The whole town was burned down, and he lost, among other things, quite a bit actually, in his storage unit, a 25-year collection of folk dance records and tapes. I'm sure he has some stuff on his computer and things like that. So, the music will go on, but this is like history, international folk dancing. He was always a teacher and performer and everything else. And I don't know what I'm gonna say to him.
Wow.
Yet, but I'm sure besides losing his business and all kinds of other stuff, boy, that fire, really hard.
Wow. And it occurs to me, Tara, as you're talking and as we've all been sharing, that so often it's just the acknowledgement from someone. I think like in our culture sometimes, like, nobody wants to go near, we're sort of taught like for whatever reason. But I think, again, for me, if someone said to me, just like you just said, like, I have no words for this, but I feel your loss and I'm here with you. Like, to me, that's so much of what helps us all and heals us. It's just knowing that we're seen and that people are here with us. Because that, even just for me, hearing you say that, like your beautiful compassion, it just comes right through.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jean.
I was very touched by what Sue Brazel said about her daughter.
and your suggestion about posting a photo of her, that it isn't probably going to be possible, but maybe we could just right now just take a moment to send some love to Sue and the memory of her daughter.
Oh, Jean, I love that. Yeah, I can see Sue's still here. Let's do that. Let's just take a moment. I'm going to close my eyes and thank you. Let's just all be here with and sending light and love. That was such a beautiful suggestion, Jean. And Sue, I hope you feel all of our love. We're here with you. And welcome, Karen. I see that you just joined us. We're actually, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to say hi. We're going a little bit over. We were going to end at 8, but I just want to make sure anybody had a chance to say something if they wanted to say hi.
Oh, okay. Hi, thank you. I just got back from the laundromat, got my flu shot, and zoomed in here to get on Zoom.
Well, we're glad to see you. We're going to have the replay up, so you'll be able to, Rosemary had to hop off, but you'll be able to hear Rosemary's poem and the prompt for the day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Was there anything else before we all head off that anybody wanted to say? It's just so wonderful to see all of you. One thing I wanted to share with you all is just a personal project that I've been doing, gosh, I guess for the last like 8 or 9 years, is when it's my birthday, I send as many letters to strangers as how old I am. So I'll be turning 56 this coming month. And I am launching that project in advance of my birthday, since it takes 56 days to do it. But I wanted to offer that in addition to anything that you might be doing for people that you know and love, if you think that an anonymous letter from the universe, a love letter, would be something that would be some light for them, feel free to direct message me or to send me an email. So what I do is just 56 letters to strangers in 56 days. And I always just put it out in all different places to let people know if you need, if you know someone who needs some light. It's a way that I've found that that really helps. My birthdays used to feel really weird, and now it's like I feel like it's just this extended period of love. And so I just wanted to offer that too as an additional secret agent mission. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, Tara.
Yeah, what do these letters look like? You're sending them anonymously? Is this true?
Yeah, so what happens is I usually put it out through my own community, my Simply Celebrate community, and I ask people to tell me some things that they love about this person, and they just tell me a little bit about the situation. So I might know if someone's grieving a death or if they've lost their job. And I write a letter from the universe saying, usually it's just, we see you, we love you. And then I'll maybe say like, they're all different because sometimes people write me a lot and they tell me a lot and sometimes they don't, but mostly try to, just let people know that they're seen and they're loved. I do also send them on behalf of people sometimes, because, some people that would be really lovely to receive an anonymous letter and other people that might creep them out. So sometimes people say, and then in that case, I'd say like, oh, Tara, your dear friend Tara just wants you to know that she's sending you so much love right now and how much she values your friendship, or like that.
Okay.
Yeah, each one is really different, but it depends on the situation and how the person wants me to send it. But I think sometimes what happens is there's something about that witnessing that seems important, that something coming from someone else on behalf of someone. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for being here. for those of you who are on Facebook, please do report back into our group, anything that you're seeing about this, anything about your own mission, because like Rosemerry was saying, it is just such a beautiful thing for us to get to share in those stories. And if you're not on Facebook, please feel free to email us. Hopefully you're in our email system, and you can always email us your stories, and Rosemerry and I will appreciate them. And if you want us to post them in the Facebook group for you, we can do that. So thank you. It was really such a gift to see all of you today. And we'll see you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.